Hi everyone, this is Annalisa. Welcome back. So today I was looking through some of my old footage and remembered making these two pours. While they were small ones, they were just some of my favorites, so I thought it would be fun to share them with you guys today. One is just a basic bloom and the other one is a swipe. So stay tuned after the first one for the swipe. With these ones, I really had some interesting color choices. I don't know what possessed me to pick the colors that I did, but they just popped super hardcore and it just made it that much more fun. I started this project just trying to make some smaller 6x6 canvases. So this one's actually made on a regular gallery depth canvas. Normally I prefer to use cradled wood, but I was so excited about my project that I wanted to give it a try, and all I had was some 6x6 canvases. So that's that's where I went with this. It made it a little challenging for resining. I actually switched to primarily cradled wood canvases or cradled wood panels because when it comes time to resin, I find they resin a lot easier. I don't need to do multiple coats. A lot of times I can do it with one or two, and so it just makes all of the difference when I'm doing it. I ended up needing to resin this piece like 3 or 4 times by the time all was said and done, but it turned out so cool that it was actually totally worth it. I really would like to try replicating this color scheme on a even bigger canvas. Looking at it again, it just reminds me of why it's so awesome to record all of your pours, because then you get to go back and revisit them and remember each and every color that you used. Because when you do as many pours as what I do, it's easy to forget the colors that you use, but when you're recording, if you make it a point to show your colors, it makes it so then you can go back and you have a record of it. I highly recommend it for anyone, even if you're not going to upload the footage. I just recommend that whole process of, at the very least, taking a picture of every pour and of the colors used with the pour. It makes it so you can go and see the different color combinations that you've used on times where you maybe are a little stumped on which color combinations you should try. Lately, I've been kind of in the middle of a little bit of a funk, and so I've not poured quite a bit, or very as much as I normally do in the last few weeks. But some of that also has to do with the fact that I've been extremely obsessed with making cabochons, and I believe I pronounced that correctly. I have found that I can take my paint pour skins and turn them into jewelry, and while I had already done it before, having dipped my cabochons into my paint pour, I really hadn't spent a lot of time trying it with where I was cutting out, or where I was like placing them onto paint skins and then cutting it out. And I can't believe I hadn't tried it that way a lot sooner, because it actually is a lot easier and it makes it a lot more fun, because then you get to pick the placement and you can get a lot of really fun designs on your cabochons, and then you have all kinds of fun and funky jewelry that you get to share. So that was the end of the first pour. Isn't it so bright? Like, that Miami Magenta really just popped. It stood out, and I think it just really, it's a good color to use on black because it does have that fluorescent side to it, and it just makes it, the black makes it really pop. Now this one I had a lot of fun making because I was trialing some chameleon colors that I had gotten, and so I just wanted to try it out, and it actually ended up being a really interesting color combination. It's definitely one that I'm glad that I recorded because I probably would have never remembered to do it again had I not. Because I would have never in a million years remembered that in this pour I had used Isadora, which is a yellow, and you'll see what I mean by the end of the video, where it doesn't really show very yellow, hardly at all, and so it's kind of funny when you look at it and look back and see the different color combinations. So you guys are aware, I am a ColourArte affiliate. If you use coupon code ACOX422 at ColourArte.com, you can get 15% off of your order, and placing an order using my coupon code helps my channel. So please consider using my coupon code if you decide to make a ColourArte order. So I don't know how many of you guys like to use purples with greens, but I find that they actually work really well together. It especially worked really well paired with my ColourArte Violet Rose. Violet Rose also has a interference shift to it that goes from purple to blue, and so it just really made that green color shift shine, and it was a lot of fun. I used both Pretentious and Boastful in this one. So something to remember when you're doing your swipe, make sure to keep a level hand. Don't push too hard. You don't want to be, you don't want to completely pull all of your paint off. You want to glide over the top of your paint. And then if you have areas where you were unable to, where your swipe didn't quite come out just right, you can always go back in and you can try blowing on them to see if you can get some additional cells to develop, like I'm doing here. Or you can even go in with a palette knife and try to swipe in just very specific areas. It doesn't always work, but it's usually always worth a try, especially when you have pours like this one where it really was an almost perfect swipe. It just had a few areas where it needed some touch up, and so I just went back in after the fact, and I had tried to get some additional cells to develop, and I got a few, but really it wasn't a whole lot. It ended up being more of me just moving stuff around and making it a little less apparent that I had some spots where I didn't have any cell activator showing. When I do the spin swipes, I do find it a little interesting and kind of a little more challenging to do my swirls, because it's really kind of, you never really know where to start with the swirl. And so I always try to find like the top of the painting and go from there. and then I like to make vines off of it. This is how this painting turned out. I really love it, and I think you can agree with me that it's hardly noticeable that there was a yellow used. Like if you look closely, yes, you can see yellow, but it wasn't like that bright yellow that I actually used, so I probably would have guessed that I used a different color. So another reason why it's really good to always take pictures of your painting and the paints you used within your painting.
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the 2 paintings in this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're not already, please consider subscribing. Thank you. Have a great day.